Meeting to order, and will Tony Bertone lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a roll call, please?
Backnick? Here. Kenny?
Here.
Shaver? Here. Saracen?
Here.
Bertone?
Here.
Heights?
Here.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the May 20th meeting?
So moved.
Second.
McKinney?
Aye.
Backnick?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Saracen?
Aye.
Bertone?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Searcy, may I make a motion to excuse the mayor from the meeting?
Yes. I just talked to him.
Someone want to second that?
I'll second that.
Bertone?
Aye.
Backnick?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Saracen?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
So that all the families and friends of the Mr. Binlock, we're going to do that. We're going to bring you up first and do the swearing in. And is the legislation?
Uh-huh.
What's the number on it?
56 and 57.
We have a resolution appointing Cody Binlock as a full-time fighter for the Village of Fairport Harbor and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend.
Second.
Suspend McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Backnick? Aye. Saracen?
Aye.
Bertone?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Adopt. McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Backnick?
Aye.
Saracen?
Aye.
Bertone?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
Cody, would you like to come up, please? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Repeat after me. I, Cody Binlock,
I, Cody Benlock,
being duly sworn,
being duly sworn,
depose and say that I hereby accept the position of firefighter, paramedic of the Village of Fairport Harbor. That I hereby accept the position of firefighter paramedic of the Village of Fairport Harbor.
I hereby accept the position of firefighter paramedic for Fairport Harbor.
and that I will support
and that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the codified ordinances
and the codified ordinances
of the Village of Fairport Harbor,
in the Village of Fairport Harbor,
and I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and honestly
and honestly
perform the duties
perform the duties
of the above position,
of the above position,
together with such duties as much duties
together as such duties
as may from time to time be placed upon me by the proper authorities.
as,
I'll go slower.
could you read that one more time? I'm sorry.
Let's see, okay. That will accept the duties as made from time to time,
Will accept the duties as made from time to time,
placed upon me by the proper authority.
placed upon me by the proper authority.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. What?
He needs to sign that when he comes back around.
Cody, can you come up and sign this one?
We're almost there.
Thank you. Is there anything else?
No, I don't think so. We're good, that's it. Maybe this one.
This?
Thank you.
From Mayor Timothy Manross, a noise variance report.
Oh, not yet. You've got one more.
Oh, I did, well, I was gonna do that.
You're gonna do that one later?
Just,
That was
because
great.
he doesn't have to come up to be sworn in. I was doing it. The noise variance requested.
The memo is in your packet. The Mardi Gras Festival is requesting a noise variance on July 5th from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. The times that I just stated are not the same times as the festival itself. We give them a buffer before and after for setup and takedown.
Thought we did this at the last meeting, but in any event, don't make the motion.
I did too.
I think it was for something different.
We
last
We had-
We
meeting for
did
the-
three.
Oh,
We did three together.
Art and culture?
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
Arts and Culture was before, but last meeting, I believe it was Greg Major has a band the same day as the Mardi Gras parade, I believe.
So motion for the times as stated.
Second.
Bertone?
Aye.
Oh, second. Becknick?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Saracen?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
From the solicitor, James Lyons.
No report tonight, Mr. Acting Mayor.
No, I can say. From the village administrator, Lucas Darling.
My report is in your packet, but a few highlights. The Ohio Department of Development has approved our grant request for $60,000 to update our comprehensive plan. And then as of last week, the Division of Liquor Control approved our DORA packet. Signs have been ordered. The DORA will go into effect after the signs are installed. And we are currently working on putting together a merchant packet for all of the business owners in the impacted area. St. Anthony's Parish will be collecting non-perishable food items and toiletries for the Ecumenical Food Bank during the Mardi Gras Parade. And then following the village-wide yard sale, we set up a donation station with Volunteers of America on the Wednesday after the event. They collected 2,022 pounds of donations, which will benefit veterans, families, and individuals in need. That is all that I have.
Mr. President, so Lucas kind of went over that very first one, which was the comprehensive plan, but I think the last time we did that, you weren't just acting mayor, you were actually the mayor, right? So it's been a long time since we had a comprehensive plan, if I remember correctly. So maybe you should discuss that a little bit, Lucas, what that means to the village and what the process is.
Yeah, so the last comprehensive plan we had was in 2002. So this will be I believe it's a 7 or 8 month process where we'll be going through and with an advisory committee and with public input and open houses, discussing the big questions of what will this village look like in 25 years, focusing on development and how the community sees itself moving forward.
Right, so it's a pretty big deal. So 2002 is the last time we did this, and the way you see the village today and how downtown has changed, 2002, Mr. Saracen remembers clearly, you know, what we were left with. There was a lot of abandoned buildings and deterioration, and sidewalks were a mess, the streets were a mess, we didn't have any police vehicles, we didn't have any firefighting equipment, everything was depleted. And that plan did help us. We created overlay districts. We put the foundation in place back then. So that's been nearly a quarter century ago, hard to believe. But that's what has led us to this point and has allowed us to attract the different types of businesses that are here now and the lifestyle that we have. So it's a very important piece. 25 years sounds like a long time, but it really isn't. It's a blink of an eye. And so it's important that we do involve the council, the different committees we have, legal counsel, and the community. So you're going to be hearing the mayor talk a lot about this when he gets back. You'll hear a lot about it in July, but it really is something that's important to us. So,
Thank you, Tony. From the village engineer, Andrew.
Thank you. I got 3 project updates this evening. First, the Orchard Street water tower has the demolition has been complete and the site has been restored. Second is the 5th Street construction project. All the underground work is complete. The storm sewer has been installed. The sanitary sewer improvements are complete. Our contractor, Great Lakes Crushing, has turned their attention to the road restoration. So we're working with them to make sure that we get a nice road paved back and we have no puddles. Thirdly is our water audit project. We have our kickoff meeting scheduled for this Friday to go over our expectations and our schedule to do a thorough audit of the entire water system in Fairport. That's all I have this evening. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for your report. From the fiscal officer, Christina Page.
All right, so in your packages is the financial report for the month of May. Starting from the beginning, the revenues for the month were $263,192.66. Your expenditures for the month were $275,595.94. Your reconciled balance found on the 3rd page of your package is $4,415,954.89. For the month of May, your interest revenue was $15,758.35. Year-to-date, we've collected $67,679.60 in interest revenue. Flipping on to the 2nd page, year-to-date. Year-to-date, your revenue has been $2,817,109.05. Expenditures year-to-date are $2,162,286.26. Your investments are static. Right now, the best earner is Star Ohio. That's coming in at about 4.46%. That seems to have stabilized. It was slipping a little bit. It had been slipping consistently by the month, and it seems to have bottomed out for now at 4.46. So we keep our eyes open for anything else, but they really are the best game in town. And that is where the lion's share of the money that you have invested, that's where it sits. At the back of this package is your check register and your revenue register. I am happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Mr. President, prior to the meeting, we had a Finance Committee meeting, and we reviewed the county's budget that they put forth for the village for calendar year 2026, so maybe Chris wants to recap that for a moment. But essentially, the committee approved or made a motion to move that on to council for review at the July meeting, at which time we'd like to have a public hearing. So we need to set a public hearing date for that as well. So Chris, if you want to set that date.
We set that date,
July.
public hearing, we've set the date for July 1st, I believe it is, yeah.
Okay.
It's all coming back to me now.
Okay.
7-1. Public hearing, we'd like to schedule that for July 1st, and then, once the public hearing has been conducted, we will move it on to the agenda of council for July 15th.
I have 6 o'clock down for that public hearing.
Thank you, makes sense. We need to do that by motion.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Breton,
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Saracen,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you. That is all I have, if you have nothing else
Right.
with me.
Jump in on that. Is there any reason to, since we have to have a public hearing, that's going to be a special council meeting, is there any reason to just not pass it that day also? So that it's done?
No, we could do it that day.
I mean,
If you want.
you have to have the public hearing, I think there has to be 10 days of notice.
There has to be 10 days of notice.
Right, and
for
we're
the-
going to do that.
Yeah.
So I think we can not only have the public hearing, but
Add
it
it
can
to
be
the
on the
agenda.
agenda for the special meeting, and that would be the only item, those two items. As long as we put it in the paper, we can pass it
Yeah.
that day, so.
That's fine with me.
You okay with that, Lucas?
We might have some other things on that special meeting
Well,
related to the
that's what I
comp plan,
thought.
but
But there'll
we
be
will-
at least two.
yeah, we
Okay.
will package all that together, and since I'm hoping that
Okay.
we'll already have a quorum for that, we can,
All right, so public hearing on
File all of
July
that on July
1st in
1st.
conjunction with the special meeting. Yes?
Right.
Good, okay.
I just had a question, because it's the holiday coming up. Is everybody going to be here for July 1st?
I'll be here.
I'll be-
I will be here.
You leaving the country?
I wish. I'd love to move to Hawaii. You want to go with me?
That's still part
I
of the
was
country.
just checking to make sure. I know there's a lot of
Yeah.
things going on.
It's a good question, a lot of traveling.
Okay, thank you, Christine.
Thank you very
And
much.
The old business, we have ordinance number 44, an ordinance amending the village code 112107 to restrict administrative offices, medical and dental offices in the C2 community business zoning district. Lucas, you want to explain that? Because
yes.
we're voting on it.
So we are requesting that that be tabled since it is on its third read. That public hearing is also set for July 1st. If it is not tabled, it dies. And then the public hearing becomes very awkward.
So you need a motion to table it?
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
I will second it.
Backnick,
Aye.
Breton,
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Saracen,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 48, a resolution directing the administrator to enter an agreement with the Veterans of the Foreign Wars Post 7754 for the fiscal installation and maintenance of the Fairport Harbor Veterans Memorial and declaring an emergency. That's the
So-
second reading. Luke,
so-
did you have anything on that? 'Cause I asked you some questions.
We are
today.
still negotiating the specific language for that.
Are you anticipating that for the third reading on the 1st of July?
I really hope so. We've had some back and forth in terms of like long-term insurance coverage and long-term ownership, but we're hoping that we have some language that both parties will agree to.
It'd have a lot more impact for the 4th of July
Yes.
if we could negotiate that out, so.
If that doesn't, do we table it until an agreement's been made and then bring it
Yeah.
back to the surface?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. For the safety committee, I talked to both of you, I don't think you really have anything, but if everybody had a chance to read the packet, the police department had a really busy month, and I was talking to the Chief Coran about it, and I want to thank Chief Lloyd, the fish, what group was it they had the fishing contest on the pier? And we had all the fire department there, and it was really a cool thing to have and showing their faces for it. So thank you to the fire department.
Police.
Well, I didn't see us. Police department and fire department.
I had plain clothes on.
I saw you fishing, I thought, the 12-year-olds. Just kidding. Okay. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Heights? Oh, it was you. Thank you very much. Bertone?
Aye.
I do all right. Shaver?
Aye.
Thank you. Becknick?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Saracen?
Aye.
This is throwing me. Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a resolution appointing Kyle Langer as the firefighter 2 for the village of Fairport Harbor, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend.
Second.
Suspend. McKinney?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Becknick?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Saracen?
Bertone.
Bertone?
Aye.
Adopt. McKinney?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Becknick?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Saracen?
Aye.
Bertone?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 58, a resolution declaring it necessary to renew an existing 3 6/10 mill at Ad Valorem property levy for the purpose of providing for the payment of the current operating expenses of the village of Fairport Harbor and requesting the Lake County auditor to certify the total current tax valuation of the village and the dollar amount of the revenue that would be generated by that renewal levy and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt. Second.
Bertone?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Becknick?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Saracen?
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinance number
Whoop,
59.
hang on.
We need
I'm
a second
sorry.
vote on the.
To suspend?
We're a little too quick. We just did the motion to adopt. We have to do the motion
to
to
do the
suspend.
suspend.
So I
Okay,
think we
then.
gotta start over.
Okay,
Okay.
so let's do it again.
Right.
Suspend and adopt.
Aye. Suspend.
Well, hang on, somebody's gotta make the motion.
I made the motion to
Thank you.
suspend.
We need a second.
Second.
Okay.
Got it.
Thought we had that.
And sort of, but not really.
Just in case.
Suspend. Bertone?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Backnick?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Saracen?
Aye.
Adopt. Bertone?
Aye.
Well, hang on.
Heights?
Motion to adopt.
Wait a minute.
Right. We're just a little off rhythm. So now it's been suspended. Now we need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Right. With a
Second.
second.
Thank you.
I'm being awful
Tom.
careful just
I
because
see, it's
it's
okay.
important.
It's,
so.
no, I get it. It's just throwing me. Bertone?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Backnick?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Saracen?
Aye.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Solicitor.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Ordinance number 59, an ordinance amending the village code 14301 regarding public records maintained by the village of Fairport Harbor Police Department and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend.
Second.
Suspend Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Saracen.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Adopt. Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Saracen.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 60, an ordinance establishing a regular order of business, establishing procedures for the commendations, making other provisions, and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second?
Move to suspend.
Second?
Suspend Shaver.
Aye.
Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Saracen.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Adopt. Shaver.
Aye.
Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Saracen.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 61, a resolution providing Lake County 9/11 plan pursuant of Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 128, and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend.
Second.
Suspend Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Saracen.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Adopt. Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Saracen.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 62, a resolution authorizing the administrator to enter into an agreement with the City of Paynesville and the Fairport Harbor Senior Center, Citizen Senior Center to provide senior services to the City of Paynesville and declaring an emergency.
Lucas, I would imagine Chris is completely happy with this since she's been taking care of Paynesville for a long time.
Yes,
But,
she was part of that negotiation for the contract. Fundamentally, it gives the senior center a $25,000 payment per year from the city of Paynesville that the village will act as the financial agent for, in the same way that we already pass through county senior levy funds.
Sounds good. So move to adopt then. Second. Move to suspend the rules. Second.
Suspend Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Saracen.
Aye.
Adopt. Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Saracen.
Aye.
Thank you.
I did read, Lucas, where Jason Boyd was going to be having a meeting with Paynesville, Fairport, and what other senior center?
It's next week,
Is that next week?
Yeah, I think it's the 26th.
26th.
Yeah.
And what was that? I didn't get the paper, I just happened to see on my email.
At this point, I don't have details on
I was
what,
just-
on what
that
the
was
meeting
just
is. but,
curious.
I confirmed with him, we will have a representative there from the village.
My understanding is that the county wants to use some of the money from the senior levy to fund some other services other than the senior centers, is what I thought. That might be a discussion point there, so. I mean, things that would benefit senior, according to the county commissioner's judgment. But, they have now completely taken over the allocation of the funds and I think that happened, 5 years ago, Chris? Does that sound about right? And prior to that, all of that money came in and it was allocated, by the senior directors in terms of a formula that they used, eventually approved by the various councils. But the commissioners have become more active in that area with that money. So. And I use the word active, and I'm not saying that's good or bad, but active. Okay. So, right.
And it came to mind when Tony Bertone was talking about in 2002, when we were doing the overlay district. Jason Boyd did a tremendous job. I just kept trying to think of the gentleman that did it all. And there's actually a couple brochures at the Village Hall to show it. And there was also, I thought, a rendering by Mr. Spittler, an engineer out of Mentor, showing what could happen to the water plant. Was that in there too? And I can't find any of that in the
It was
finals.
at the same time, but I don't recall if it's,
But yeah, I wanted to give credit to Jason Boyd because he
Yeah.
did so much for the Village of Fairport. He still does, but that was a great thing back then.
yes.
Does council have anything further they'd like to discuss?
I don't think so.
No.
I do want to thank Elizabeth and Christina and Lucas for the flags hanging in the village. I was very touched when we celebrated the 225th birthday of the Army. And it was so cool to be able to see our flags finally up. And you see it in other communities. But there was a lot of work done by those three. And talking to Lucas today, I think we need the illuminating company, right? To get us permission to put more up. Because I think we could get hundreds throughout the village if we can get their permission. But
Yeah.
that was a great job that we got that before the 225th birthday. And it looks so good.
It does.
And
It
that was a
totally
lot of hard-
transforms the downtown area. I know the residents are very happy, and I know there are people waiting in line for the next round. So, yeah, good job, Lucas. It's great. We've been talking about it for a number of years,
It's been a
so I'm
number
so
of
glad.
years.
Yeah.
And then when you watch that, and then to know we finally have them up,
Yeah,
it was touching.
yeah,
And
they look
a
beautiful.
lot of our, I know my three other uncles didn't get up because they didn't have we didn't have enough, but
Yeah.
it was a great job by Lucas and your committee. We now will go to the public. Anybody have anything?
Carla Ribozzi, 501 New Forth. I have a two-part question for Andrew. Is there an anticipated date of Fifth Street project being done?
We're looking to be substantially complete, probably within a month, maybe a little after a month.
Okay, from, I believe what the mayor had stated prior, they'll be starting New Fourth Street. Is that this year?
Yeah, it's currently in design, so we're designing New 4th Street. Now, we're anticipating construction to be in the spring.
For New Fourth?
Yes.
For the storm sewer and
And sanitary work.
sanitary?
There
Okay.
was talk about possibly doing it in the fall, but with the school construction, we're trying to time it so
Okay.
that the school is done before we do our work.
Thank you. That's all.
Greg Major, 501 New 4th Street. I understand that the village has now taken over the old Mardi Gras building, and the power's been shut off over there. We have produce on Monday. Can you turn the power back on?
The Mardi Gras Corporation still controls the easement for that building. We've not signed any paperwork with them yet to end that easement. So until that's signed, the building still belongs to the Mardi Gras Corporation.
Okay, but there's no power in there, right?
I believe that they shut that off 2 or 3 months ago, but that was a decision made by them, not the
But
village.
there's no way they can be turned back on?
To help him, who would he go to? Who's the head of the
Sharon Barnhill with the Mardi Gras Corporation, but it didn't sound like they planned on turning the power back on at that building
At all?
until the building's transferred back to the village.
Okay, so that's going to be a
I'm sure if
problem.
you talk to her,
Do we own the
I think you
building?
can make.
We own the land. They have an easement for the building that they built. So
So there'll
when the Mardi Gras Corporation ceases to exist after this last festival, the village will send them some paperwork to sign ending their easement.
It's an easement, not a lease?
It's an easement.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did that a long time
it's
ago.
unusual, but
Yeah, it's really unusual.
But that was years and years ago.
So how
Isn't
long
that
will
the
it take to
building
dissolve
here?
the lease?
As long as Jim is comfortable with the draft that I sent him, we can include that on the special council meeting in July.
On the first.
I was waiting to do it until they were at the end of the easement period in terms of the use or the corporation.
Yep.
Okay.
Which I thought
Or
made
the-
sense. I was not aware of Greg's problem or issue that they were going to turn it off. so.
Yeah, so there will be no power on Monday is what I'm getting at. So we're going to have a problem there, right? If there is, okay, if there is a problem there with no power on over there, is that going to fall under the village, the senior center, or the Mardi Gras as far as if there's a problem over there? Because we've had 3 people fall over there with the lights on. And now there's no lights on over there. So I'm just kind of curious. I need to know what I need to tell the people on Monday morning.
But from what I understood, the Mardi Gras is renting that, at least that property from us. Have nothing to do with the senior center, correct, Mr. Lyons? I mean, I
Well,
think he's saying,
It's an easement, but we can refer to it as a lease. I mean, it has the effect of a lease.
but you need it Monday?
I guess I'm not plugging into what your need is for the Mardi Gras building. I don't know what.
Well, I thought that the building was actually the villages who rented it or leased it, whatever they did, to the Mardi Gras. The Mardi Gras is now giving it up. They've cut the power to it, and they told us that it's now in the village's hands.
But whether that's not 100% correct in terms of just the legalistics, but I don't understand what use you guys have, that you have of it, and your need for power there.
The produce on Monday morning.
I don't know anything about the produce.
Well, okay, the produce is what we give out to the people that come in here once a month on Mondays. They line up and we give them the food that we get from the Cleveland Food Bank. And we do that we're going to do that on Monday morning. So there's going to be a lot of people coming in there, and we're working in there. We load the little boxes up and we put it in their cars.
So Greg,
Yes.
maybe to recap a little bit, because I've been back there when that's happened, you have been doing this consistently over time, the first Monday of the month, out of that particular building.
Correct.
This is the first time you won't be able to do that and have power, correct? That's what you're saying?
Correct.
Right, so that's the issue.
This is.
And so the Mardi Gras people have been letting
Yes.
your group use that building and the power, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. I didn't understand
Oh, okay.
any of that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, okay, I guess that's.
So I guess,
We
You don't-
couldn't just say
I don't-
yes,
can we bring a
though.
generator down?
Well-
Do we have a generator?
I'm getting some weird looks from police and fire, so I'm assuming we don't have a mobile generator to bring down.
Why can't he ask the senior center?
So we can probably
Can
figure
I
out
ask
some
why,
money to.
what about the senior center? Did you ask them if they could store some stuff here in their big refrigerators in the back?
Oh, no, there's like, when we get this stuff in, I mean, you're talking
Yeah, it's-
10,000 pounds of food
That's a big
that comes in
operation.
in this big truck, and it's on pallets. The guy comes in a truck, takes it off on the pallets and lines it up in there. We take the stuff from those pallets and we put it in the little boxes.
It's not for refrigeration.
It's
for
not,
lighting.
it's
You just
fresh,
use it for
fresh
lights.
food.
Oh,
So Lucas, you're technically in charge of the service department. Figure it out.
Just come down and take a look.
Council doesn't
Monday
need to
morning.
figure this
And
out.
see what-
Lucas has
We can't,
got
I
it.
mean, we can't, really, it's a legal matter, wouldn't it, Jim, if we just, because they're leasing it off us, somebody gets hurt, I would say it's up to the.
We could probably plug
Mardi
in
Gras.
temporary
They're not-
lights to this
They're not leasing
building.
it from us.
Yeah.
The Mardi Gras people still have control over that building, okay? And if the Mardi Gras people want to accept the help from the village to provide lights that day, then that's up to Lucas, and he can hopefully, with the service department, come up with a plan here, okay?
Okay.
we will talk later, and we'll figure out where we have shop lights that we can bring. It won't be glamorous, but
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
All right.
Karen?
What time's the truck get there?
Is there a-
I've never seen it. so
Real
it's
quick, is there a
probably
truck
fine.
that's coming here? Mr. Lyons was asking.
What time's the truck get there for the light?
Is there a truck that comes for the produce?
Oh, yeah, very big one.
A great big one.
But what time does it come?
7 o'clock.
But you need the lights inside the building, is what you're saying, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, they'd have to be before Monday because
Right.
those coolers, whatever, would have to be. Lucas is gonna work.
We'll
Lucas can
figure
work-
something out.
Lucas can work magic.
Lucas will handle it.
He works magic.
Come down and get some produce, Jim. You'll enjoy it. It's fun.
Karen Bidlack, 635 Eagle Street. Just a couple comments. I know that we have some waste removal, whatever those things are, for the dog, for the pets in the park. Someone asked me if we had any by the Finn Hollow, because they've seen a lot of waste over there and wondered if there weren't any, can we get some over there?
Waste from what?
The waste,
You were mentioning pets.
no,
The doggy
the
bags.
pet,
You know, the poop bags.
dispose, yeah.
We have 2 of them in
Oh,
the
I know,
park.
I walk my dog.
Do you use the poop bags?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
As a
You
matter of
bet.
Good for
fact, I bumped
Responsible
into
pet
Tony's
owner.
wife last night while I was taking it over to the dump.
My question
Tony
would be.
knows I do it.
Yeah, yes, you're very good about that. Why would the village buy that? Why doesn't the dog owner buy their own
I think
bags?
we already do, actually. I know
Well-
the name of the company.
No, I get that we're buying them, but I'm wondering why we buy them.
In case somebody forgets their bag, and then there's not stuff laying all over the place.
There's another method for that. There's
And
citations.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Mr. Vitone, I agree with you.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
the
that
pet owners
just
should
seems like a
supply
waste
their
of
own.
public funds.
Well,
but-
they got them all over the metro parks.
Yeah.
I mean, we just went to Geneva and
I
they
think you
got
have
them
4
all
in the
over.
park right now.
Pardon?
You're 4 in our Veterans Park. There's 4 of those,
Right, at each corner.
yeah. And so if you had, I didn't think, they mentioned that they didn't see any over in the Finn Hollow, and people from maybe the apartment complex there takes their pets over and then leaves it. I don't know. That's what they mentioned. The other question I had years ago, where there was a crosswalk along High Street by the post office, and it was really nicely done and diagonal angles. Any chance we could get something like that again for people who have to go cross High Street when people are coming up the hill and going over the speed limit? And that's all I have. Thank you.
Does anybody else have anything? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make, second.
Shaver.
Aye.
Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Saracen.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights. Aye. Thank you.
Mr. President, I am going to call the mayor and tell him that this was not a record-setting meeting, by the way.
Right?
I said you
Well,
didn't tell them that.
wait a minute. I hate to throw
You already
somebody-
own the record,
I hate to
but-
throw somebody under the bus,
But
but
you got an 8-minute stall, didn't you?
you
Yeah,
guys
we were
happened
late.
to take
Word was
up.
coming.
So let's go back and look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, you know what I thought was really cool? That they put this light up off of Fairport Nursery Road that flashes because that intersection goes.
Yeah.
That is, what a,
Right
you
here,
can't
too.
miss it.
Right here, so they stop driving into Mr. McKinney's property. We'll see if that works.
It's just so, it was a great
Yeah.
idea.
It is nice. I think we could use a couple more.
I had the same thought.
Yeah. I have a couple of spots in mind.
I guess we can say things too, if we want, but the meeting's adjourned.
Flashing sign at Finn Hollow, maybe? Buy bags?
I'm hoping that Lucas provides us pictures of the lights he comes up with for the produce.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
I'm
I
seeing
got a double header in my
cords.
basement. If you can find a place to plug it in, it's killer.
Did the market?